And welcome back. Well, we just talked about changing habits earlier, and it is no secret that Americans are drinking more during the pandemic. Online alcohol sales alone are nearly up 250% from the same time last year. That's right. Well, our next guest noticed she was drinking daily, every day, a little bit more than usual, and it made her tired, it made her grumpy, and it made her anxious. Her friend suggested that they do a 90-day reset. So today, the difference is dramatic.
How about it? Meg Daly says that reset works so well for her. In fact, that she has put together a plan to help others. It is called Sober Tranquility. And I'm super excited to welcome her to the show because I love Meg. She's a friend of mine. Hi, Meg.
Good to see you, Meg.
Good to see you both. Hello.
Hello, gorgeous. I don't know if you heard us talking a few minutes ago or not, but we talked about changing habits during the pandemic. And while some people are drinking less, like you, and some other people, most people, or a lot of people, I should say, are drinking a lot more, which is concerning.
Yeah. It was about 6 months ago. And a friend of mine called me and she said, I'm so tired of feeling like I have like semi-flu. And I was in bed on a Sunday morning, I'll admit it, with a little bit of a hangover. And she said, what about doing 90 days, no alcohol? And I sat up in bed and I was like, I'm in. And so I hung up and then I went to the calendar to check off the date of what would be 90 days. And I had buyer's remorse. I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? But this time was different and it worked and it's great.
I think that sounds incredible to people because I think a lot of people desire to do something like that, but they're like you. They're like, do I really want to? Because it does. It feels a little painful if that's sort of become a crutch for you to get through this tough time. So it's called what? Sober Tranquility, right?
Yes, it's Sober Tranquility. It's an online community that kind of started by accident with two girlfriends of mine. So I started creating a little program and homework, and then word spread and people started seeing our results. And right now it's an online community where we start off with a 30-day reset. You know, I don't view alcohol as bad. I don't think drinking is bad. There's no judgment. It's an opportunity for people to experiment their life without alcohol and see how they feel, because how we feel every day is really creating your life.
I just have always seen beauty radiate from within you, Meg, because I think that's how your heart is. But as we look at this before and after picture of you, and I give you a lot of credit because I think there's a lot of vulnerability to what you're sharing with people and what you're doing for people. And would you agree that there's a sort of stigma or embarrassment that comes with drinking too much and admitting that you have a little too much wine most nights?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, every morning I wake up and I have my gratitude list that I run through before my feet hit the floor. And then I ask myself, what are 3 words that describe how I want to feel today? And then the third question is, what's one thing I can do to love myself and other people? And it would always be, exercise more, drink more water. But there was this little whisper of knowing on my ears saying, give alcohol a break. And I didn't want to go there because it takes courage to let go of the habit of wine. And there was a lot of shame in it because I would wake up and I would just feel, I just wasn't on my A game. And it wasn't until, listening to your intuition, which by the way, is a great byproduct of releasing alcohol. You just have that much more clarity and focus.
And I think you're being nice about the hangovers. Like, where I kind of felt like I had a little flu. It's like, I think the older you get, you could have 2 glasses of wine and you feel crummy, the next day. And it takes down your whole day. And I want you to speak a little bit too, because you said, the way that you feel changed so much. Like Molly said, you can see a lot of it in the picture. But I want you to get into some specifics because even anxiety you found was directly linked to drinking.
Okay, so that's it. That's the golden nugget. And that is what has kept me on this journey. So I realize now that I was leaning on this habit of, I call it Mr. P, my weekly or my nightly date with Mr. Pinot Noir, because I felt like it was calming down my nervous system and I needed that. And I didn't want to give it up. However, about a year ago, I was meeting with my therapist and we were talking about my anxiety and my overwhelm. And she said, Meg, studies show for people like you, the anxiety doesn't peak until 3 days after you drink. And I was like,
no
I didn't
way.
even tell her. I was like, well, I'm on a perpetual peak because I was someone that was drinking every night. Sometimes it was 1 glass, sometimes 2. I'm not going to lie, on the weekends more, but it was this, steady drip. So my nervous system was like, it never had a break.
Yeah, and that's not good for us. I think a lot of people, especially now during the pandemic, are struggling with anxiety, and a lot of people not having to go to an office or to meetings the way we used to. It
Right.
gives us a little bit more of a pass, perhaps, to drink more than we want to or more than we think we should. So I'm wondering, with this incredible program, Meg, Sober Tranquility, and I've been checking it out a lot. I'm very impressed. Who is this for? Because you feel that a lot of women are a little bit too attached to their wine or drinking habit, right?
Right. So in no way, shape, or form is this a program for someone who has a true chemical dependency. So I've talked with different therapists of mine over the years, and they're like, Meg, you're not an alcoholic, but you fall in that middle part of someone who leans on the habit of alcohol. And the thing was, I never had a problem giving up alcohol. That was okay. I could do it. I could do a 30-day reset. It was fine. It was getting rid of the desire for the alcohol. And that's what we go through in the program. It's going to those thoughts, because our thoughts create feelings, which create choices, which create our reality. And so if you can catch your thoughts, and that's where we have a lot of fun in the program.
I love that. And I think that's a great distinction, because a lot of people would say that it's that they feel like that's how they have fun, or that's how they relax, or that's how they tune out, or, whatever it may be. And that's that desire that you have, for the alcohol
Right.
that's a really good distinction for, I think, so many people. So how does the program work? The one that you're inviting people to is what, 30 days, correct?
Right. So it's a 30-day reset where you release alcohol, you see how you feel, and then you make a decision at the end of the 30 days. You can stay in the community and you can make a decision. Do I want to go back to what I was doing? Do I want to continue to release and live an alcohol-free life? Or do I want to moderate? And a lot of people do. They experiment with moderating. And the funny thing is that the feedback I've gotten from people who moderate and then they go back to maybe a week without drinking, they find that moderation oftentimes leads to an alcohol-free life because they feel so good.
Yeah, I've seen some of the quotes too on the website, which are impactful. I want you to talk about the cost, but before I do, very quickly, Meg, have you talked to anybody with groups like AA, for example, about what they think about your program?
Yes, yes. Actually, a good friend of mine reached out to me when she saw the program, and we had a long discussion. I actually interviewed her. That's on part of the membership site. And I asked her about this, and she said, listen, I think what you're doing is fabulous, because it's a first step for some people that might truly have an addiction to alcohol. She felt that like 10 to 15% of the people that were interested in my program probably have a deeper problem that would eventually need more help. And it was comforting to me, because I don't want this to come across as I am an alcohol, a dependency counselor by any means. This is really a program for people that just are using alcohol as a little bit of a crutch.
People want to reevaluate. And quickly, because we ran out of time, how much does it cost to join the 30-day program?
$97.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Good to see you, Meg.
Very worth it. And there's
Yes.
so much encouragement and daily affirmations, and there's a diary and a journal, and you can have conversations with Meg. So here's the information. Thank you so much for joining us. She says if she can do it, you can do it too. So to join her 30-day reset group and learn how to calm down without alcohol, you can visit this website. It's sobertranquility.com. And she has a free ebook with great ideas on what to do instead of alcohol, like a bubble bath or a movie night, which Ryan J would approve. You can go to sobertranquility.com/gift. All right.